Oh my god. Deer. Actual, real life deer. Oh god, the quality's not coming out very good. I can't jump into the field, it's a farmer's field. But deer! Deer! You have to believe me that those are deer.
Hi, I'm Stuart Morris. I'm cycling to every large town near me in order of ascending distance and rating them, with the end goal of reaching Flamborough. This is your review.
Hello everyone, I am back. I know I said I was going to stop the series, but I've had a change of heart. It's been months since I recorded Willoughby. I've moved into a new house now on the other side of York, and I've had some interesting thoughts about the whole situation, which I'll share at the end of the video. For now, I just wanted to say that it doesn't make much sense to order towns by ascending distance when the distances seem to keep changing. So to avoid confusion, I'm going to stick to my original list, which is roughly ascending order, basically so I don't need to make a new intro. Yes, I'll do Rotherham, yes, I'll do the tier 5s, and for this episode, we're going to Barton-Upon-Humber.
Hello again. You've been sat there all winter. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, you've got a friend now.
As I left Market Weighton, I became nervous about what lay ahead.
I'm getting some flashbacks. This is around the area where Google Maps led me astray last time. Come on, here's hoping. Success! We've avoided the road! Hey, there it is. Oh, Hessel, you service my vessel, your functions are vessel. You know, when I started this series, I had a lot of people telling me that I should have called it Yorkshire Review instead of York Review, because I seem to be reviewing towns in Yorkshire. But that's not the criteria for viewing a town. I'm going to places near York. And the distinction there is I'm not restricted to just Yorkshire. In fact, the significance of today is that once I cross that bridge behind me, I will no longer be in Yorkshire. So let's go and do it. It's a special moment. I'm about to leave Yorkshire. After I did the talk, after I did the review over there, after County Park.
What a way to kick off season 3. I mean, I'm on the Humber Bridge. It's crazy.
Barton-Upon-Humber is a town on the south side of the Humber Bridge and has the longest name out of all the York Review towns. So long in fact, I had to make it bend to fit on the page that pops up during the intro. There are 2 annual festivals in Barton, an arts festival and a bike night, and so it would be the ideal place to retire for an artistic motorcyclist.
the first things I could tell you about comparing Barton-Upon-Humber to Hessel is that the town centre of Barton-Upon-Humber is a lot bigger. There's a lot more stuff here, there's a nice park, there's even this cute little duck pond with some cute little ducks thrown in. It's a really nice place. So we arrived at Baysgarth Park. For the sake of consistency between episodes, you have to imagine what this park would look like in the summer. So I've just been talking to a lovely man called Richard. He came over to me while I was in the park just then and he started telling me about the history of Barton, which is pretty cool. I think it must be the outfit, you know. I don't get people approaching me giving me history lessons when I'm dressed in normal clothes. We're gonna go check out a little building behind the church now. So, stay tuned. The building behind me is the birthplace of Dr. Chad Varra. Now, that name might not mean much to you immediately, didn't for me, but Dr. Chad Varra spent much of his early life here in Barton-Upon-Humber. Later on he went to study for a degree in Oxford, and even later in life he founded the Samaritans, which is why we recognise him today.
Dr. Chad inspired many people, including musician Sam Harrison, who wrote a 5-song musical about his story.
If you wanna talk to someone but you're worried about your scruples, talk to Chad. Chad Varra, oh, Chad Varra. Just a confidential netter and your confidence quadruples, talk to Chad. Chad Varra, oh, Chad Varra. He's the figure who won't snicker at your personal dilemma. He's the humanitarian of God. He's the person whose exertions to untangle your predicament. All you do is give him the nod.
With churches and their roofs. This church is lovely. It's really not like any of the other churches I've seen so far on this series. And the winner of Best Door in Barton-Upon-Humber goes to this one.
It seems that I mentioned the weather a lot in this episode, and it just so happens that I've had a fan submission about it. Friend of the show, Dom Rouse, who plays the guitar in the Oh Hessel song, was concerned I was basing my scores off the weather, so he made the Sky Scores. Here, the town names in my high scores have been replaced with pictures of the sky from their episodes. And this is great, I didn't even ask him to do this. There does seem to be a good mix of weather conditions in each bracket, although the top and bottom brackets seem to be suspiciously good and bad. I'll let you be the judge of whether or not I'm biased. Just remember that this episode was recorded before I even knew that this was being done, so it's crazy that we're thinking about the weather at the same time.
I'm not exactly sure where, but somewhere on the horizon lies the bustling metropolis of Hull. Even though we're technically in Lincolnshire now, I'm still going to give this town a score out of Yorkshire. Now, the purists among you will think that I have to give this score out of Lincolnshire, and you might be right, but I can still see Yorkshire from here. So, as far as I'm concerned, the Yorkshire scoring system still has influence here. And finally, we come here. The Far Ings Nature Reserve. This park is a bit like the Barton equivalent of the Humber County Park in Hessel. Barton-Upon-Humber is a really nice town. The obvious place to compare it to would be Hessel. Now, in terms of the town centre of Barton is a lot nicer because there are just far more things in there. There's a lot more history, there's a lot more points of interest. But at the same time, you have a bit less access to the bridge here, but it's still a prominent part of the skyline. And while Hessel has the county park, here in Barton we have Barting's Nature Reserve, which is another really big place with lots of lakes and lots of cool things to see. So when you compare the two towns like that, they're really neck and neck. The weather here has not been as nice as the weather when I was in Hessel, but I still think the towns are of similar quality. So I'm going to give Barton-Upon-Humber a Yorkshire out of Yorkshire.
So, why have I restarted the series with the threat of the Yorkshireman looming over me? Well, I figured it out. Quite simply, the Yorkshireman is not real. The more I think about it, the more ridiculous it seems. The whole thing is clearly a prank. But how? How was it faked? I had 4 housemates at the old address. 3 of them were makeup and practical effects artists, and the other was studying a PhD in chemistry. If ever there was going to be a group of people capable of pulling off an elaborate ghost prank with holograms, hidden cameras, and the technical ability to hack into my laptop and add outros, it would be these people. I mean, you got me. Well done. I should have seen it earlier. I think I just needed a break. But now we can put all this silly stuff behind us and get back to what really matters. A comprehensive review of the large towns near York. I'll see you all in the next episode.